Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Today I'm really excited about this one actually. I'm kind of eagerly awaiting this one. It's The Cult's Under the Midnight Sun. I'm eagerly awaiting this one mainly because I've been listening to this band for a good chunk of my life. It actually goes way back to when I remember seeing them, and I'm pretty sure it was Saturday Night Live. I think it kind of had to have been because I only had 3 channels back when I was that young, because maybe sometimes 4 on a good clear day, but some of you guys out there have no idea what I'm talking about, but there wasn't too many channels to choose from back in those days, especially if all you had was an antenna and your parents didn't pay for the cable. And that's kind of the situation I was in, so I'm pretty sure it was them. I saw them on, almost positive it was Saturday Night Live, but anyway, so I kind of knew who they were when their album Electric came out, and that first song, Love Removal Machine, the band I can barely say it, when that came out, I saw it on, it wasn't MTV, there was a Canadian station called Much Music that a buddy of mine had on his, because his parents paid for cable. So, and I remember seeing that, and I thought that it was so different from what I had seen them on the Saturday Night Live show, and it was just this raw energy that drew me in. And the funny part is my band Brandy Lies just played that song at our last show, and I've never played it up until our last show, so it's kind of funny, at least to me anyway. And their version of Born to Be Wild on that, I played. I know it's not their song, but we kind of did it their way in a band I was in way back in college days, and I actually sang the song Peace Dog off that same album. I just remember just buying the cassette and just sticking it in and playing straight through just every song on that album. I loved it. The guitar was just so raw and up front, and from that point on I was just hooked. And Sonic Temple, that was huge, and I don't care. I think Firewoman is one of my favorite songs. I know it's overplayed and all that, but I don't care. I think it's a great song. I even like the stuff after that, that got all the criticism and whatever, but I just think they're an ever-evolving band, and they've tried a lot of different things. There's a couple things along the line I didn't care for, as much. Nothing I really ever hated, though. Ian Astbury's got a lot of side projects he's done that I've gotten all that stuff, and Billy Duffy too. But the only 2 guys that seem to remain pretty constant. Everybody else has changed over the years, and all the way up to this one. So when I put this in, I had really no idea what to expect. I mean, you kind of have an idea of what to expect from the Cult. And this still caught me by surprise. Anyway, just the first song, it's kind of starts out, kind of like a mid-tempo-y type thing, and it has a slow build, but I was really digging it. And by the end of it, I was already catching the Billy Duffy has this thing where he just does these. He didn't have it. It's not every song, but he's pretty much had it all the way back to Dreamtime, where he does these single notes, or single string, I should say, type melodies and stuff. He just does in the background, and it's kind of like just a hook in the background of the guitar hook that just is this there in all his songs. And you got Ian Astbury, who just has his own style of singing, and this song has that, but it also feels new, so I thought it was kind of cool. And pretty much every song on here has that guitar thing going on it, including the next one, Cut Inside. That one's, I saw it in an interview where they were talking about, it wasn't an interview, it was something online, an online interview, I guess. It wasn't on YouTube or anything, where they're talking about how this is kind of going to be a mixture between Dreamtime, Love, and Electric, somewhere in that. And first listen through on this, because I actually did listen to it more than one time in a row. I've been doing that quite a bit lately. didn't quite catch it at first, but as I going back and listening to it, I'm like catching. I'm like, I know what they mean. And the cut inside is one that really goes back to like Dreamtime. If you pay attention to the drum part, it's kind of that weird. Doesn't stay consistent. It almost feels like it's not missing beats, but it kind of feels like it is. And it's just kind of like a strange pattern to have in just a straight ahead rock song, which kind of musically it's what it is, but that changes it up and makes it kind of unique. And that's kind of what they did back in those early days on their first couple albums. And Vendetta X is more of a straightforward one. Didn't do anything extremely new and exciting on it, but it was still a good rock song. Now Give Me Mercy I thought was pretty cool. I like the way that one built. It's nothing too super original about it, except I just really like the chord structure and the way the song built. And it's got just this key thing going on. It just really built in the first verse. Didn't really waste any time getting to the first chorus. It's a fairly short song, 3.5 minutes, and then that just really caught my ear. Right, first listen through that one really, probably out of all of them, that really caught my ear. And that's kind of where that's kind of weird, because I know it came out on vinyl first. I actually didn't get it on the vinyl. I waited until it came out, and on the vinyl it was like a side 1, side 2, and so like this would where it would flip to side 2, and it kind of changes quite a bit. The Outer Heavens got a whole lot of orchestration and stuff going on in the background, and very different style for them, but I really, really enjoyed listening to it. I didn't heard anything at all like this with them before. But the one that really, really caught me was Knife Through Butterfly Heart, which I thought was kind of a weird, cool play on words. Longest song on the album too, but it probably is, it's definitely my favorite one. It's strange because when I listen to CDs, I usually just listen to them straight through. I don't skip stuff and I don't go back. This one I went back like 3 times and listened to it over and over before I even finished it listening to it the first time. I really like the song so much. It starts with a really cool acoustic guitar, which they don't do very often, and just gradually builds, and by the end of it, it's just it's the climax of the song is really just draws you in. I didn't get bored at all with it being a 6-minute song. It just constantly was building and bringing in new elements the whole time. I just couldn't get enough of that one. Impermanence, track 7, still along the same. It was that's probably my least favorite one actually on the whole disc. So it didn't really bring a whole lot new that they hadn't done. In fact, it was kind of like forgettable actually. I've listened to this several times through now. That's the only lull in this whole album. And then Under Midnight Sun, thought was pretty cool. It's one of those also slow building ones. The second half of this album has just got this orchestration, and they're all a little bit slower, more mellow. But the last part of the song, like the last few seconds, it kicks in with this guitar riff that's been there, but it really kicks in towards the end. And it was just a interesting way, I thought, to end the album. And it's a really short album. It's only like 30 some minutes, not even 35, I don't think, but pretty short. A couple of the ones I've been getting lately have been really short, so I don't know if this is a new trend that's happening with music. We're going back to early 80s type album lengths, but I don't think this one needed any. I was kind of bummed when I saw how short it was when I first got it. I'm thinking, this is more like an EP than it is an album, but I'm pretty satisfied listening to it. I really can't complain. There's one song that was a little bit okay, not bad. Everything else I really, really enjoyed. I mean, I have to rate this probably if I was going to do a 10 scale, I'd probably rate this about 8 out of 10. I could have used rocking a little bit more in parts, but it never really, really gets like that super heavy rock feel like some of their songs and albums, I should say, had in the early days. But this is they brought something new to the table once again. So, I mean, how can you complain? And I really enjoyed listening to it. So, as much as I wanted to rock out, I'm still really happy with this. And I will probably continue listening to this for the rest of the weekend. So, tell me what you guys think. Check it out. This one's definitely worth it. So, I mean, I rated it pretty high, so it's I don't do that very often. I don't think I rate them most the stuff I listen to quite that high. So it's just my opinion. So I'm glad to hear what you guys have to say about this. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and talk to you guys on the next one. See ya.